Harold Shipman was guilty of murdering 15 of his patients and was sentenced to life. In January 2000, Harold Shipman, a GP practicing in Manchester 4. He has been practicing for more than 20 years and it would soon become clear that he killed hundreds. All of the victims were his own patients. It started in the 1970s. A lot of people like him apparently, and a good doctor. He had over 3,000 patients. How did so many murders become undetected? Throughout the case, there was very little coverage of the victims, most were elderly women. Chris Wilson, documentary filmmaker, wanted to find this. A new general manager. To the new manager, running a hotel is a lifestyle. He's very cutthroat, and to him is here to do a good job is to make it successful. Social media is very relevant to his marketing strategy. Lawrence, the owner of the hotel, is the owner who wanted to create something outside of. She received a fax from a local solicitor, written shortly before her mother's death. Kathleen's closest living relative, her son-in-law Fi, says, talking about how the estate, money and house to my doctor. My family is not indeed and want to reward him for all the care he has given to me and the people of Hyde. Dr. Shipman, the son-in-law, doesn't believe she wrote that will. In 1998, Bernard Postles was the detective for the case. What people had brought to him at that point of the case was a suspicion that she was seen dead, but earlier that day she had been seen as a Dr. Shipman. This was also the person who will benefit from the will. The detective needs to find the reason for the cause of death. NIGEL Reynolds, his wife, was also a GP named Linda who died in 2000. The connection to Dr. Shipman began in 1996, she working at a group practice directly opposite Shipman's surgery. From NIGEL's point of view, they were invited to do these cream forms, where one doctor signs the cremation form for another practice. It became clear to her Shipman had a significantly higher number of cream forms coming over and asking for them to be signed. Also the fact that a lot of the patients died in the afternoon fully clothed, sitting in the chair and with the door unlocked. He remembers saying elder people don't leave their house door open, they don't die in the afternoon, it's normally at night and in the hospital. Very odd for it to be unexpected. In March 1998 she reported it to the coroner, then later received a visit from the detective. He told her that they were opening an investigation into her concerns. The detective came back and said there was nothing going on. The 3-page note Chris found includes a list of 21 names of all patients of Shipman who had died in the previous 6 months. Mostly women aged between 49 to 90. The investigating officer did not speak to the Shipman or the deceased patients' families. They did not give the detective the paperwork he asked for when it was first needed. A lot of occasions he's been present, or he just left the house where somebody was found. Despite these allegations, he was still practicing as a GP and nobody wanted to challenge him. Michaela Sitford says it was her article that broke the Shipman story in the local press. In private as a report while she was investigating to speak to people on the street. Say he was the doctor of death. Peter and Angela Wagstaff, he always made you feel that it was important to him, that he was a good doctor. Whenever they question if he could be trusted or not, you will see in his loss of card of support for the doctor. Paul Harrack, editor of Manchester newspaper he was publishing. Straight through into the kitchen. The person was dead on the floor. He came and sat next to her because she was very upset. She asked, "Why did you bring me if she wasn't well?" He said, "There was nothing you could have done, dear. The friends would not believe that her cause of death was due to old age. Something I had gone wrong here." Dr. Shipman said this because there will be no post-mortem. Ada Warburton died in March 1998, 3 months before Kathleen. This police were called to Ada's house as soon as her death was reported by Dr. Shipman. Next of kin Leslie speaks about this she never heard of her Dr. Shipman until he notified him of Kathleen's death. Leslie wanted post-mortem, but Harold said we don't need one. In 1998, accepted police practice meant that Shipman could kill his elderly patients in their own homes, knowing that his word as a doctor was all that was needed to certify them. Deaths. In 1996, Marie Quinn traveled to Bosnia on a religious pilgrimage. Marie was seen climbing hills. She was perfectly fine 1 year ago. Post-mortem, which they take a few weeks later, shows that she has diamorphine in the body. Diamorphine is pure, medical-grade heroin. The case number became murder. A controlled drug that can only be given by doctors. Only person she could have given to her is a Shipman. The detective wanted 12 more bodies to be examined, all former patients and Dr. Shipman. As they checked each one over the coming days,